So I wanted to change some things up from my vlog style. At least for now, I'm just experimenting and seeing what works, seeing what doesn't, and seeing what I enjoy, right? Because I felt like the vlog, like it's just this, guys. I do the same thing every week, really. Like I go to jujitsu, I work out, I go to work, I work in my evenings, like. It's a bit boring. My life's boring, right? Which is why I'm somewhat successful, or I have been with like school and with work, and with my accountancy qualification, because love routines and routines give me success. So I thought it's getting a bit boring. Obviously, if I'm doing something crazy, when I fly to Guatemala, maybe I'll show you what life's like over there. But I wanted to change things up. So even if you're just here for the business advice, or I don't know what advice I could give you because I'm still learning, but for the business tips and just to see the progress, I still think it's going to be interesting for you. And that's why I'm going to be talking about like mindset, gym, or exercise, mostly mindset though, and then business things. If you're anything like me, you'll also find that interesting. So my only point today that I wanted to make, or one of the points I wanted to make, was so Friday night I was relaxing. I was here actually. I was just watching YouTube. Just to be perfectly honest, I wasn't grinding. I was like, look, Saturday I'll go crazy or whatever. So I was just relaxing, and I was watching some YouTube, and in my mind I was like, okay, well, I think it was like 9:30. I was like, oh, okay, I'll stay up for another 2 hours or so and go to bed at 11:30. And just to put it in perspective, I go to sleep usually at 10:30 on a work day midweek, right? And I was like, well, yeah, I'll go to bed at 11:30. In my mind, I was thinking that, and I was like, well, that's just what you do. And I thought about it, like, well, what am I doing now? I'm just watching some shitty YouTube video, right? Like, I've been scrolling for a bit. Like, I'm just watching some YouTube video. I'm not doing anything. I'm not spending time with my family. I'm not spending time with my friends. I'm not watching a movie with my friends, even that. I'm just sitting here. Like, why the fuck would I stay up to 11:30 when what benefit am I gaining? I won't even remember. It's not like I'm tired and I want to chill but not go to bed. Like, I won't even remember the YouTube video that I'm watching now tomorrow morning. I can't tell you what YouTube video I watched before I went to bed. I just can't, because it, is uninteresting. Realistically, it's not interesting. It's interesting enough to capture your attention for 8 minutes, but not enough to remember it the next day, because you've watched so much slop, basically. So, no benefit, and you'll be tired the next day, and you won't even remember what you're watching. At least with a movie, you remember what you're doing, or with your friends, you might have had a pretty good time. And then it just hit me, like, on the weekdays, we sleep early and wake up early for work. But on the weekends, we do the opposite. We go to bed late and we wake up late. Why is it that when we are doing things for others, for example, our boss, obviously you do get paid as a result, but put that aside, we make ourselves have a good habit. Okay, I'll go to bed early because sorry guys, I can't come out, I've got work tomorrow, right? You'll even turn down your friends when they ask to go out, right? But when it's for ourselves, for example, the weekends are your time, essentially, right? You're doing stuff for your life. Maybe you're working on your second business. Most people aren't, realistically. But hopefully if you're watching this video, you're doing something productive, right? Even if you aren't, you're going to be in a better mindset if you wake up early. So when it's for ourselves, we let that slip. We're like, oh, it's the weekend, I'll just stay up late. And it's not even for any reason. It's not like I'm out with my friends, like we're having it's not even that. It's like, I'm sitting here watching YouTube, something I can do any day of the week, and I do it every day of the week, or most days of the week, right? Just sit here, consume content when I'm not working, and yet I've tricked my brain into thinking like, yeah, this is something that's necessary. And I think this realization, it just hit me that night. I texted my work colleague actually, and we talk a lot of mindset and philosophy. And I texted him this realization, and he was like, I've literally just turned off the movie that I'm watching because I had the exact same realization. He was like, what the fuck am I doing? Right? And you always hear people say your mind is your greatest enemy. And it wasn't until I started doing this business essentially that I actually fully understood it. Obviously, I don't fully understand it, but I started to understand it more than I did. It's like, your mind is your greatest enemy. That sounds stupid, but the amount of times that I've realized it's myself sabotaging myself. That person didn't say that thing in that way. I just interpreted it that way. You don't need to change your offer. You just need to get a better pitch. Like, you're not good enough. It's not the other thing. It's not your product that's wrong. It's you, right? You need to get better at selling. And then this is just another one, right? You don't need to stay up late. Why are you staying up late? You're just self-sabotaging. And so it just reinforces that your mind is one of your greatest enemies. I think the moral of this is just that we need to be careful what we're telling ourselves, what ingrained limiting beliefs that we have, what automatic assumptions do we make that could be holding us back. And if you want to get some value out of this video, think about this yourself. Whenever you say something such as, whenever you hear someone say something like, you can't, or I can't, or I don't, or those sort of preambles before saying the thing, like, I can't do that. Why not? Why can't you? What's stopping you? And then it's like sales training, right? When they explain what it is, or when you think about what do you think's holding you back? Oh, well, my dad wouldn't let me. It's like, okay, well, you're a 25-year-old man. You know, your dad can't control you, right? It's a lot of these limiting beliefs. Obviously, there's situations where your dad can and he'll kick you out of the house, right? But there's more limiting beliefs. Everything is a limiting belief. It's my belief, you know? So yeah, I just wanted to share that sort of thought point with you because I found value in it and it made me go to bed early. So, and I've been very productive today. So yeah. So we're going to be doing things a bit differently this week, just try out this format. And essentially, I'm just going to be taking you through sort of what I've done this week and in this format, and we'll just see how it goes. First thing, let me get a thumbnail. All right. That should be all right. Or wait, we'll put that on the screen and then we'll do it. Yeah, there we are. Cool. That's the thumbnail sorted. So in terms of this week, I was sick. I can't really remember actually, but this is basically what we did this week, or I did this week. So I changed my outreach on LinkedIn. I've been watching this thing called social selling, right? And they were talking about this value add approach. So I decided, hey, you know what? Let me give it a go. So I've been trying that approach this week. I've been crafting the PDF. So let me give you an example of what the PDF looks like. So essentially what we're going to be doing is like an online audit of their company. So message them, cold message, say, hey, are you interested in an audit? Obviously, it's going to be a bit, the message is more well crafted than the succinct overview that I'm giving you right now. Then they say yes. Then this is the template that I created. Obviously, the wording down here and here is just a draft, and I think I need an image or something in that spot that I'm showing you. But essentially, then I go through, I'll edit this to customize to the customer or to the prospect, right? And then I'll send that to them. I'll change this, send that to them. And essentially what that does is that just gives you a much higher response rate first of all, but you're adding value as well right off the bat, which builds trust and then increases the likelihood that you're going to be able to continue the um, the conversation and potentially even book a call. So I'm hoping that this increases my call rate. So I sent this to my outreaches this week, or at least the template to sort of the template message to be like, hey, would you be interested in this message, in this audit, this free audit? So we'll see how that goes. So I did 72 outreaches this week. Here you can see at the bottom, and I had one response so far this week. That's not cumulative, that's just for the week, which I think is low, but a lot of the messages were sent on the weekend. And actually, this week, for the first time, I did it in mail. So we'll see how that performs. I'm not sure how that will perform. So in these courses I've been taking, they're all saying about sending 30 messages a day, for example. But I'm sort of struggling to understand how you can do that, because LinkedIn caps your connections, right? And then you only have 100 messages you can send to people who aren't your connections. So I don't understand how you can send 30 a day if you can only send 150 connections a week. It doesn't really make much sense to me. But I'm gonna have, when I'm fully finished with my job, my own LinkedIn will be tailored towards this, so we'll be able to double up on the connections I'm doing so far. So we'll get close to that. We'll get like probably 400 outreaches a week or so. Nothing is automated, by the way. I don't want to automate yet. I'm just trying to keep it just me, right? But yeah, my thought is this might be hard to scale, but I think LinkedIn, that's why we're customizing our messages. We're more personalized. We're doing an audit for people for free because it's less scalable. So you do need to make the most of each person you're messaging. At least that's my thought process. So yeah, I'm hoping that this new value add approach will be more effective for booking calls, but we'll have to see, right? So my cumulative figures since I've started, I think this is week 5, right? Basically 400 outreaches, 26 responses. That's just anyone replying, even if they say thanks, and then 8 leads from that. These are people who are genuinely interested, but no booked calls. So what happens is we're talking to these people, and then they're like, "Yeah, I'm interested in this. Let's go ahead." But then we're just stuck in this phase of not booking a call. Like, "Oh, can you do Wednesday?" "No, I'm busy." Like, I need to think of a way of getting around this. To be honest, I think there should at least be one call from 8 people who are genuinely interested. So yeah, that's something for me to work upon. I've also been liking and commenting every day I think commenting on 10 posts and then liking however many, a lot more for engagement, because then that boosts your profile, I think. So yeah. So now just moving on to my future plans in the coming weeks, not months. This is just very short term. I think one point I need to work on is crafting a great offer. So obviously we already have clients. We know what we offer. We offer LinkedIn or social media marketing, LinkedIn posts, Instagram posts. We also do website design, creating websites, and engagement on LinkedIn profiles. So we know what we offer in terms of the actual service, but you can't just sell somebody like a service, right? You need to have an offer, whether that be like, here's our package, this is level 1, this is level 2, this is level 3. So I'm throwing around ideas right now as to what works, what doesn't. And I think one part of it is you need to have a high ticket offer, say 2,000, 1,500 a month, because it's like when you're at a fine dining restaurant or whatever, right? And you see a wine of Chateau de Chateau or whatever for £1,000. Then suddenly the wine for £30 on the menu doesn't seem so bad, right? It's called a price anchor, as far as I'm aware. That's what I've heard. So I think that having a higher ticket option, if someone buys it, then amazing. But it also helps to make the 300 or the 400 pound set marketing offer seem a lot more reasonable. So that's something I need to work upon here. Again, I want to create another lead magnet. So I've done like the value add audit scorecard thing that I just showed you up here. But I want to create a lead magnet to integrate into my campaign. So whether that's something we put on our LinkedIn as a post and just say this is for free, have it, or like go to our website and then they have to put in their email. This is just for capturing their emails, right? So perhaps a PDF is like 100 ideas for posting on LinkedIn, right? Completely free, high quality, something someone would pay for, but we're going to give it to them for free in return for their email, building my email list. So that's something for me to work upon. And just as overall, continue to do the outreach in that new method that I've been talking about, the value add method, continue to do engagement. And the main goal is book sales call. I need to get experience on sales calls quickly, realistically. Because firstly, I need to improve my skills. That's going to be a whole nother area that I'll talk about as soon as I start getting sales calls. But also because, I need to start bringing some money in for myself. And that can only be achieved through the outreach resulting in a sales call, which then results in a conversion. So the quicker I get experience doing sales calls, the quicker I pay down my ignorance tax and get better. But overall, the only final comment I wanted to leave was just make sure you subscribe, because I think these videos are actually quite useful. They're useful for myself, but they're also useful for you guys. So yeah.